Hello, welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is the Paxton Road TV reaction show for the game Leeds United versus Tottenham Hotspur, and the score: Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. I am Sam Spurs for life, and I'm joined in the house, my resident guest, as always, the mighty Sid Spurs. How are we doing, Sid? You all right?
Yeah. You know what? It's a groundhog. It's not Groundhog Day, but it's one of them weeks, isn't it? Win, lose, win, high, low, high. It's
Yeah,
Tottenham for you.
it
Tottenham
is.
for you.
And I think I've now come to the conclusion. I'm just going to try and stay as balanced as I can. It's always, and I was saying this to you just before we come on air, it's always about the next game for Tottenham now. You know, we've played this game, but what we're going to get the next game. And that's what I think. It's going to be game to game. And I think as long as we can recognise that, I think we played well today. I think the team played well. The stats will show we played well. But then when we look back and think, yeah, the team played well, Leeds have been pants the last however many weeks. You know, they've shipped, I think that's 19 goals in 5 games or 4 games, whatever it is. It's atrocious record from them. But we went and got the job done. There were some really good individual performances there. Harry Kane, again, what can you say about the guy's class at the moment? Harry, class A. Definitely that about him. But I thought the wing-backs played well today. I've got to give credit where credit is due. Sessegnon looked a little bit more confident today. Matt Doherty looked very confident today.
Who? So just say that again. Just say that again.
I'll even say him by his name, Matt Doherty today, not even Matt Dorothy today, because he actually did all right. He was very instrumental going forward. Looks like he just had a bit more of an edge, and that's a good thing. We always have to, you know, we criticize a lot on this show. Obviously, we do because we want the best from the team. But when credit where credit is due today, so definitely. Sessegnon looked a little bit more confident. And I think he's a confidence player. Get his confidence up. Kulusevski, again, another player that looked like he's benefited from just playing regular football, getting a bit more confident. His goal he took was great. But tell me about the actual team today. What did you think of the performance? Do
you know what? Team performance-wise, I think I'll start from the beginning. I think when we saw the team, I did post to you guys, Doherty and Winks in the team, yeah? So expect a roller coaster. But I think you've got to start from the beginning at the top, and you've got to give Conte credit because today he got everything spot on. From even the lineup, we were all, you know, saying, well, oh, what's he done here? What's he done here? But I think today's game, the opponents and the team that he put out, it worked like a masterclass because, like you said, Doherty was brilliant at right back. Even Harry Winks had a solid game in the middle. He was the one that passed it through for the first goal. Yeah. You know, and overall, the way he got the ball, he never lost the ball. He shielded it well. He controlled it well. And you've got to give Conte credit because he sorted it. That front three, for me, is a given now. He has to play them three because Kulu, Kane and Son, top notch, all three of them, because the way they interact, the way they move around and change places and that. And you know, when them two are running down the wings and Kane's got the ball, he's going to pinpoint them and he's going to pick them out. So I could go on all day, and I know we want to go early today, but team performance wise, I think you have to say I think on par with Man City performance throughout the whole 90 minutes. I think it was a great performance.
Yeah, it was a very good performance. Again, I think we have to always look at the opposition. You know, Leeds allowed us to have the amount of space by doing the man-to-man. I thought with the results that they've had over the past few weeks, they might change their way of playing. But now I can see that Bielsa is going to stick to it, as is Conte. You know, again, with Bentancur not playing today, I was thinking he might possibly do something different in that midfield. Still started Winks and Højbjerg together. Yeah. The difference we've got today is it seems as if, you know, we're playing with these 2 10s. So it's almost like a box in the middle. You've got Højbjerg and you've got Winks, and that could be Højbjerg and somebody else. And then you've got just in front of them, you've got Son, and it was Kulusevski, and Kane just plays as the front man. When we lose the ball, they get back into this 5-4-1 shape. So the good thing is we've now got a system to play when we haven't got the ball, and when we do, it's clear that Kane drops into that space, and the 2 number 10s as they are, Kulusevski and Son, they go beyond and try and get in on the counter-attack. But what did you think of that first goal? The fact that both our wing-backs were involved, there was a good pass in there from Winks, Sessegnon onto it, but Doherty on the other side. That was one of the things I've noticed today. Both our wing-backs were fully in the game and both in the box at the same time.
Yeah, it was one of them. Whoa, stop, rewind, stop, rewind. Let me look again. Am I seeing right? Let me put my glasses on, clean my glasses. All wing backs have gone down the wing, both of them.
Yeah.
And how I can see it at Man City, I see it at Liverpool. But Tottenham Hotspur's wing backs passing it from one end to the other and assisting each other, we're never going to see that. And we never ever thought we was going to see that. But you know what? It was crazy. But like I said to you, and I've said before, for me, Reguilon is better not Reguilon. Sessi is better going forward because he knows every time he was past that ball today, his touch and it was on the goal straight away. He didn't mess up once. And for him to do that and then carry on, knock it at the far post and to see your other right back in the right position, scoring. If that other right back that came on in the second half, we wouldn't have scored with that one. If that's, you know who I mean, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's
he wouldn't have scored that.
The way that the Conte system has to work, if he is going to persist with 3-4-3, which he is doing, and I'm not against him persisting with the 3-4-3 if we can have everybody maximizing to the potential like they did today. We were missing a significant player, and it's almost a shame to say it, but we did miss Bentancur today, although he's only been here a few games, because you would have done with that sort of energy, but because it's Leeds. And the stats will show that because it's Leeds, they're always going to give you opportunities. They're always going to give you space because of this man marking thing. So you've just really got to play a decent game of football, a decent game of, creating that space. And each player that receives, because Ayling kept on following Son. They thought we're playing a 3-4-3, but they were both playing in field. So the right back from Leeds thinking, I've got to go in field here. And he followed them all over the pitch. Madness.
He even followed him when he got injured. Remember when Son got injured? Commentator said that Ayling's even following him when he's been tackled and he sat down with him because he's following him. He's that close to him. But you're right. They were pulling him out left, right and centre. But you know what? As much as we can give all the credit and all the plaudits to Spurs going forward and whatever, I still think Leeds should have scored at least 1 or 2 goals. And 4-0 is a little bit of a brawling for him. But it could have been 5-5. It could have been 4-3. It could have been 4-2. So we could
have had another couple of goals in the second half as well. We could have had another 2 or 3. There was a good few gilt-edged opportunities. We got behind them. There was that one where Son was through and he got to the byline and cut it back. There was no one there. There was a good few opportunities like that I saw. Do you think? This is so it's difficult because now it's kind of giving you seeing patterns of play again. I'm seeing the same sort of patterns that we had against City. Seeing how that they can develop the defensive system, but it all now depends on keeping these pieces in place. Do you know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Always Kulusevski today, the way he took that goal, it shows us now we've got that additional dimension. Whereas we've got Lucas, who's very busy, doesn't have a lot of goal output. Kulusevski, 2 goals in 3 games now? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that again, if he keeps that up with the confidence, I'm seeing him developing, the way he's playing, the way he took that finish as well was brilliant. What did you think of the front 3? Obviously, Kane was the standout, but what did you think of the front 3 overall, Sid?
Do you know what? I think everybody was going on about, oh no, Moore, what's going on? But he got injured yesterday in training, and I think that was an absolute blessing in disguise because the fact that not having him anywhere near the squad, nothing against him. I think it's just the fact that he wasn't on there, so it limited Conte's option, and them 3 today just delivered. Like you said, Kulu from the beginning. I mean, we all know he's not fully fit. He's adapting to English football, but he put in a performance, and he needs a few more 90 minutes to get 100% onto the Premier League level kind of thing. But what he showed today, and the way them 3 were, every time them 3 got the ball, we looked like we was gonna create havoc and cause problems. So you know what, long may it continue with them 3, and like you said, Bentancur to come back,
Skip to come back. I think once we get Skip and Bentancur to come back, we've then at least got some options to play in that midfield. I think we're gonna have to probably say, again, I think Højbjerg has now proved his worth to the team. For me, again, he's underrated. He's underappreciated because maybe some of the times in some of the formations we're expecting him to probably do more than what he actually is. You know, what I saw today from him was exactly what I expect to see from Højbjerg. You know, breaking things up, getting himself in there, you know, moving the ball on. I know he was always going to be tracked by one man, so there was a little bit more space for him to operate in. But that's all you need to do. He doesn't need to do anything fantastically brilliant, like going forward and knocking them 25-yard screamers. I don't really want, well, not say I don't want him to do that. I'd love him to do that. But I'm not expecting Højbjerg to do that. What I'm expecting him to do is just be neat and tidy, break play up, give it to the players that are going to make the difference. And now that we've got this formation where, you know, they're looking to get Harry Kane in that little area, that little, you know, between the lines sort of position, and his passing range. Again, talk to me about Harry Kane's passing range.
Do you know what? Yeah. This guy is just a different planet, yeah? And I've just got to, you know what? This sums it up, yeah? Where's it gone? Let me show you. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. You know what I mean? Everything this guy does, right? Everything he does today, it's just like he's got the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. Yep. I mean, that pass, you know, I mean, that one for Doherty, number one. I don't think anybody in the stadium, I don't think anyone watching it on TV, I don't think anyone in the ground saw that pass going to Doherty. Yeah, because the way he guided it, and then Doherty just should have scored, right? Or was it Emerson? And yeah, Emerson won as well. And then that pass for Son, come on. I mean, the way he controls it deep inside our own half, yeah, gets the ball, and he even looks up, yeah, and as Glenn Hoddle said, I've got the ball. Where's my mate? I'm going to pass it to my mate. And he passed it straight and controlled by Son and finish. When you've got him like that, Man City, you know what? You can come knocking, you can come do whatever you want. You ain't having him for that price, yeah? You're going to have to, every game, that performance against City and today's performance, that money just goes up and up and up. And Mr. Daniel Levy up there, you now need to watch. You've got one of the best centre-forwards, strikers in the world, one of the best managers in the world. You now have to back your manager and back Harry Kane and get what they need, because you ain't going to get another Harry Kane coming to Spurs playing like that ever again. So get your money out in the summer and back both of these and let Conte do what he wants to do. And I'm telling you, he plays like this, the levels is just madness.
For me, you've got to get additional players to be able to score goals when Harry Kane doesn't. I think the problem we've got is like with the game at Burnley. We look to Son and Kane. Oh, they didn't do it. We didn't score any goals. But if they don't score, we hadn't seemed to got any real goal for it. I'm hoping that the way that the fullbacks, wingbacks play today, if that isn't a way that they could, because if you look at Liverpool, they get so much joy from the likes of Trent and Robertson. You know, I know it's a bit of a strong comparison because they're obviously, you know, where they are. But if you can see that the way that they get forward, they both try and create for each other. They can get on the end of goals as well. We need goals from elsewhere. We can't just have Kane doing what he's doing and Son then picking up the piece as well. That's 37 goal contributions, making them the top in the Premier League between them. Ever. Son and Kane contribution, goals and assists. It's a madness, isn't it? That is true.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say that to me shows you, and a lot of people saying in a team that hasn't been successful in terms of trophy winning, that shows you the level of reliance that we have on them. You know, because if they've scored that many combined between, they're only seeing, oh well, I can only pass to Harry and Harry can only pass to me, and you know what I mean. If you've got somebody else like Kulusevski now who can add, because more as much as he's like busy, he's not really that much of a threat. He picks up the odd goal, and I know we can always look at the Ajax thing and all the rest of that thing. That's brilliant. But that's few and far between. You need a regular goal scorer that's going to come up with at least 10, maybe 12 goals a season, additional to what Kane's getting in his 20, additional to what Son's getting in his 15 to maybe 20 goals a season. Yeah. It's looking a lot better. I'm feeling better, but again,
it's one game. Yeah,
it's the next game. What are you thinking is going to be for the next game?
Well, it's Middlesbrough in the cup, so. It was good also to see Alfie Devine and Harvey White on the bench as well today, so it's good. It's Middlesbrough on Tuesday in the cup, so the momentum is there, so you've got to carry the momentum, right? And you know what? If we carry on playing like this and against City, then FA Cup is is there, and this 10th and winning the FA Cup, you know what? It could be a possibility. You know, I
jokes
saw
about that.
Yeah, I saw Jody putting on their top 4. Here we go, and no, like Sean said, no, don't you ever say top 4. That 2 words again, because we build ourselves back up to top 4, and then we're just going to get knocked back down again. So, like we've all said, like you said, Sam, one game at a time.
It's always about the next game with Spurs.
Exactly.
It's not about the game we've just played. It's the next game. How do we perform? How do we get the result in the next game? Now, the next game is a little bit of obviously a movement away from the league, but it's a cup game. And I want to win. You want to win the FA Cup. We both said this strongly. I'm taking FA Cup and any league position as long as we don't get relegated. I don't care. I'll say this again and again and again. FA Cup and any league position apart from going down, I'm having it this season because I want us to see us win. The mentality shift that will have for these players will be massive. I know the FA Cup is not looked at as being that big a trophy, but I think it's not about that. It's about getting over the line for us, and that's what we need to do.
You know what it is as well, Sam? It's not just for the club, not just for the players, but most importantly, them supporters. Look at our away supporters today.
Brilliant.
Phenomenal. Exactly. And you imagine if we got to a final, the support at Wembley Stadium, second home to us because we were there for the last couple of seasons ago. Can you imagine the fans having a Wembley day out for an FA Cup?
It's always the same. We always support the team. The away fans I've always had are brilliant. I've done the away, I've done the on the road thing. It's absolutely just singing all the way through, regardless of results. But again, when the team gives you what they've given you today in terms of goals and the way that they've played, it gives you hope again. It gives you that heart. But for me, it's all about the next game for me now. It's all about right. This performance is there. It's going to be a totally different game against the Middlesbrough team, who are lower league opposition, but have got a way of playing that they're gonna. Are we away in that? Yeah, I think we are.
We're away. Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of these stats anyway from the game. Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. The goals from Matt Doherty 10 minutes, Kulusevski on 15, Kane on 27, and Son in the 85th minute.
So that makes it 4, Sam.
That's why it means that makes it 4, and that's really good, isn't it? You see that? You know what I'm going to do because of that, Sid? I'm going to take it off the screen because you made me think, I can't do that now. I've got to be more professional.
Put the stats on. Put the stats on.
I'm not putting the stats up now. I'm going to put them when I've changed them now. Now that you've done that.
but do you know what? You don't need to put them up, but how many shots did we have on goal today? How many, attempts on goal? This is what we've done, that front three. Yeah. This is what this is what we want to be seeing. Them numbers, the shots on targets. We scored 4 goals. That's what we want to see. We didn't have nothing of that against Burnley. Oh, look at this guy.
Look at that. As if by magic. But anyway, going back to it. Thank you for pointing that out because I didn't actually see that till you did. 49% possession to Leeds, 51 to us. Possession-wise, I think we did well today because Leeds usually are the one that get on the ball and like to keep it. But they had some key players out. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But this is the stats for me. Still, they had 19 shots. 15 shots to us. 19 shots is a lot of shots to face. I know they only had 3 shots on target to our 11, which was, again, reason why we could have scored a lot more goals today. 3 corners to 6, 16 fouls to 11. What do you think about them shots? Because Leeds, if with a better striker, with better finishing, Leeds could have had a few goals today.
That's what we said, didn't we? Everyone said that Leeds will give you the time and space, so you will have the ball. And teams like Spurs, Liverpool, people that like to play, you will get the shots, you will get them on target. But we shouldn't be allowing Leeds to have 19 shots against us. I'm sorry. But as much as, they're attacking side, they had Bamford missing. They had, quite decent players missing. Rafinha obviously was playing, but we shouldn't be allowing Leeds to have 19 goals. And like you said, if they had a decent striker or somebody who could actually hit a barn door, they could have had that shots on target could have tripled, and their goals could have been at least 2 or 3.
And they hit the woodwork twice. Let's not forget as well. So again, that's my only little thing. The game was open. Leeds are going to be that open team. So as I said in the previous day, if you get it right against Leeds, you're always going to score against them. If you can keep them to restricted amount of opportunities and shots on goal, then you usually win the game. there was a little bit of an opposite today. They had plenty of opportunities to get shots on goal from us today, but I think that even that one where remember when
When he went
what Hugo was doing, I'm still trying to work out what he was doing. I watched the replay. Højbjerg passes it back to him, and then Højbjerg kind of jogs off because he thinks, he's going to pass it back to me. He made the angle for him to pass back, and whether or not he's on some sort of alcohol, he passed that right to the Leeds player, and I was thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah, but you know what? This is why I think a lot of Spurs fans have said, and we all know, even when I go to the games, his footwork, honestly, is not very good at all, because every time he gets that ball on his feet, he's sort of like, oh, I've got the ball. What do I do? What do I do? And that proved it today. He was so lucky because he could have got sent off for the foul, or he went. What's the worst thing was, he's gone for the foul and then he's tried to push it away with his hand. Come on, you're 20 yards outside the penalty box, mate. That would have been a red card, and I would have loved to have seen Antonio Conte's reaction to that. But you know what?
He would have gone lunatic. He would have lost his plot, because you don't. This is what I'm saying. We seem to compound mistakes with another mistake. So yeah, you give the ball away, Lloris. Don't then compound it by trying to drag the player down again and get yourself sent off, because that would have meant, it could have been really messy. That could have.
Absolutely. But you know what? We just got lucky, like you said. It was one of them days where they couldn't hit a barn door, and we did, basically, yeah. So yeah, it could have been 7-8. They could have scored 3 or 4, but you know what? We should not be giving teams like Leeds 19 shots.
No,
simple.
No. Okay, starting 11 for the Spurs today. So we had Lloris in goal. We had the back three of Romero, Dyer, and Davis. Wing backs was a little bit of a surprise today to see Doherty start with Sessegnon on the left. Winston Højbjerg, I think we probably all knew that was going to be the case if he was going to persist with the 3-4-3, which he has done. Kulusevski and Son played, as I said, just in behind Kane, who was the main number 9. In and around this area, as you said, it's got this box formation. This is what I'm talking about. So again, when we're attacking, Kane seems to drop in, and these two are on their bike. And now that we're seeing Sessegnon and Doherty in them spaces as well, attacking in these flank areas, you got 5 players up in attack. 4 or 5 players up. All you need is somebody who can also be more of a box-to-box, who can also threaten in, which Bentancur I think is going to be able to do. Then you're going to look to have 6 players in attack then. So it's really a two-pronged team. You've got a real solid defence, because when they get back into a 5-4-1 shape with Kulusevski and Son going back into that midfield, and then Kane being the front man. Does it prove that we're just not a counter-attacking team because of the way the goals? That goal that was created for Kane with the Højbjerg pass over the top. What did you think of that one, Sid?
Listen, if I was somebody just coming onto this stream, right, and you showed me them stats, yeah, and then said, right, look at that stat, what would have been your lineup for that stat? I would never have said this team, yeah, because them stats and this team shouldn't really go together. But that pass by Højbjerg for Kane, like I said, we don't know what to expect. When he puts a team out like that with them two in the middle, automatically we're all going to defensive mode, because like you've said many times today as well, them two are not attacking minded midfielders. So how on earth is them two not only trying to pass the ball like that, but to actually pass it into Kane like that and Kane to score? You'd be like, that's an Ericsson or somebody, or Bentancur type of player that's going to be passing that ball. But you've got to raise your hands and your hats to both Højbjerg and Winks today. I think they were outstanding. Yeah, we're good to criticize them when they're all having bad games and that, but I think Højbjerg, he got forward quite a lot today, and he was always looking to go forward, looking for that. And I think there was one instant in the second half where he had the ball, and Kulu came to him and he just looked at him and said, move, go over there. And he moved him so he could carry the ball forward. So today, I think Højbjerg was at it today as well.
Yeah. A little, again, always looking for things to try and improve. A little slight concern for me today was, Sessegnon came off again. He did come off, which wasn't a problem. Royal came on, though, as opposed to Reguilon. What do you think is going on there? Because I'm getting a little bit concerned whether it is this COVID thing, this reaction from COVID. We've not seen Reguilon in a few games. He's been on the bench for the last couple of games, not been brought on a sub for the last couple of games either. Had an opportunity to come on in both those games as well, because Sessegnon has come off. Anything to read into that?
You know what? I put it on the group, didn't I? When they said he's warming up Royal, and I said to my boy, and I said it on the group, I went, if he takes Doherty off, I'll be pissed, because Doherty has had a great game. And then when they took him off, my other lad goes, Dad, he's moved Doherty to left back and took Cess off. And I'm like, but you've got already made left back on the bench. Why have you left him out? Listen, the way I see it, if you're fit to play, you're in that squad. If you're not fully fit, then you should not be in that squad. So I think there might be something brewing there. Maybe he's trusting Sessegnon now. Maybe he's seeing more of Sessegnon as an attacking forward, going forward. And he knows that Davies can cover him, whatever. But I think he sees more of an end product from Cess, like we saw today, than he does with Reguilon. So I might be reading too much into this, but I'm thinking, you know what? There's something going on here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to read too much into it, but it's just because of the fact that there's been opportunities to bring him on, and both times he hasn't. One, to try and obviously get back in the game when he could have brought him in for the last game against Burnley when we weren't doing too well, and today again when the game's won at 4-0 anyway, definitely won at 85th minute, but he may have used the subs before then anyway, I know that. But the fact is, Reguilon's now sat on the bench twice. Maybe he's just having to have him on there to fill the numbers on the bench. He doesn't want to play him and he's still just trying to protect him. Or, as you said, he's seeing that Sessegnon is maybe getting a bit of confidence now. Keep that confidence going with him. There's all kinds of little things that we could look at in that. But what it would be interesting is come Middlesbrough on Tuesday, who starts in that? Because there's going to be a few players that might need a rest. However, saying that, our next game against Everton won't be until the Monday afterwards. So we've got some days between the games. Do you see many changes to this starting 11 come the game on Tuesday?
I personally think Conte won't change the system because you've just gone from a defeat to a win. The players, they're on a high. Maybe I'd like to see Rodon start instead of Davies, number one. Yeah, because it's FA Cup as well. So I'd like to see Rodon start. I think Doherty should stay where he is. Reguilon and Cess, maybe. You see, this is the question, isn't it? Do you want to continue with Cess getting more and more game time so he's getting fitter and fitter and fitter? Or then do you bring in Reguilon to try and get him fit and get him back to match practice? Yeah. I think Cess. I think if Cess starts, he'll get half a game. If Reg starts, he'll get half a game. So I think either of them will. Yeah, I think he'll mix them two. Midfield, I think Benson could be back. So I think he might. It might even be Harvey White. Could give him a little bit of a run out. But the top three, I don't think he'll change. I think them three are on fire. They're trying to. They're getting that little niche together now. So I'd keep them three. We know what them two can do, Son and Kane. Kulu's just getting him into the momentum, getting him fitter and fitter and fitter. So maybe one or two changes, but nothing drastic.
For me, I think, you know what? I'm looking at this and thinking, right, 2 games ahead. So I'm thinking that if we had a game on Tuesday and then we'll probably play it on the Saturday, I think we'd probably have a few more changes. I think there's enough time between 12:30 kicking off on a Saturday, then kicking off at 7:30 on a Tuesday to be able to play the same players.
Yeah,
I think you're right. We might have maybe 1 or 2 changes, but not many. I would like to think, as you said, Rodon to come in at defense because we can't afford for any of these 3 to get injured at centre back. So that's one thing. Try and protect the centre back. The other thing is both our wing backs again are quite critical in the way we play, so they might need a bit of a rest. Do you want to risk Sessegnon again, who has had injury concerns over the past couple of years at Spurs anyway? Do you want to risk that, but keep his confidence going? So it's a bit of a toss-up between that. And the midfield, as you said, if we ain't got certain players back, we ain't really got any midfielders, so we're going to have to play these 2 anyway.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, if we play these 2 on Tuesday, right, we've got another 6 days after that until the next game. So by that time, when we play Everton, Skip, I think Benton calls out for 3 weeks, they reckon. But maybe, possibly. So maybe Skip might be come back as well. So these two will have enough time to recover for when we play Everton. So that's the good thing. We've got like 5-6 days between Tuesday and next week. So I think that's good enough to, play a game and then have 5-6 days of rest training to be fit again for Everton.
Yes, people here. So we've got a couple of Sean's asking, need to talk about Reguilon. Simply saying, I wonder if Reguilon and Conte have had a falling out. Have Real said they are recalling Sergio? Nobody knows. It's a little bit of a mystery because he's gone from being the first choice, and I think he was pretty much a Conte type wing back, very attack minded. I don't think that's changed. Then he had COVID again, because remember he's had COVID a couple times, and again he had COVID. So he come out of the team then, but been on the bench. That's my point. He's been fit enough, as you said, Sid. If you're fit enough to be on the bench, I think you're fit enough to play, whether that's to start for 10 minutes, to come on for 10 minutes, regardless. He's not been seen in both the games. And we need him because we can't afford for Sessegnon to be the only wing back. As a force, we can't afford for Royal or Doherty to be the only wing back we've got. Very important positions in the Conte formation.
I agree. You know what? Totally agree with what you're saying. We'll find out on Tuesday, won't we? Exactly what's going on. Because if he doesn't start on Tuesday as well, with the knock that Cesc got today, then maybe we can start reading more into it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Right then, I think you know what. I think we've probably done about all we can do today. As I said, I don't want to go overboard with things because I think we've really got to see how we play the next game. I think that it was clear that the next two games were must wins. We've one of two so far. I think as much as we had to win today, we have to beat Middlesbrough on Tuesday. We have to progress in the next round of the FA Cup. And then I think he's like that from now on, Sid. You know what I mean? We're going to be playing games. I just hope that the team turns up. Consistency is a key. What's your final thoughts on today?
Conte's rant worked on Tuesday, Wednesday against Burnley. He's obviously drilled it into the players, and he's told them, "Listen, guys, I want a performance. It's Leeds, right? It's one of them games where everyone's scoring against them, so we need to go out there and we need to play our football. If we play our football, then we'll win the game." I don't think he was bothered whether they win it 1-0 or 4-0 or 6-0 or 6-5 or whatever. He just wanted them to go out there and make a point, prove a point that, we want to play for this team. And I'm sure they've heard his remarks. And if Harry Kane just turns up today like he did and put in a performance like that, then all them players need to sit back and think, you know what? I mean, we've not even mentioned Romero today. I think Romero had a cracking game again. Burnley game, I think, must have been his first and only off game. But even today, he was mustard, And yeah, you know what? Keep the momentum going. Keep the chins up. And I'm sure some of them fans on the way home will see the coach or however they've gone, and the chanting and the smiles on their faces will just say also, bring on Tuesday and let's get a result.
Yeah. Simply one of our regular guests, welcome, simply saying we need to field our strongest team or close to our strongest team, as Middlesbrough are no mugs. He's right. They've had some good victories the last couple of rounds. Day said top four between Arsenal and Manchester United. Yeah, I'm going to stick to that as well. I'm not going to put us in the top four talk. Where we finish, where we finish, as an old quote gets said. Thank you all for those watching. Juice Nuts has been in the house as well. Day, Simply Ace, Paul, Stevie, Foster, or Fraser, should I say. Who else? Sean, of course, Sean Hull's there watching us. Arsenal for life. A spy out of the camp trying to see what we're going to be doing. When is that game? It's not been announced yet when that Arsenal
Still not been announced. No, still not been announced. You know what they're waiting for, don't they? They're hoping it goes to the penultimate game of the season and they'll bang it in the midweek like a shootout, because Arsenal-Chelsea's not been rescheduled as well. So
that's what they're doing, looking for TV slots. That's
of course they are. Of course they are.
100%. Amrit Crow, welcome. Thank you for watching. Wayne Bonner as well. Edward said, thank you. Samuel Bella, loads of people. Make sure you all smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that button as well to subscribe to the channel. Looking out for all the shows that we've got. Judge Jody coming up for player ratings either Sunday or Monday. We've got Chalking Points on Tuesday. We'll have previews and reactions for the FA Cup game against Middlesbrough. Look out for Arsenal as well next week, Friday. Send us in all your comments as well. And we're going to try and do a
Absolutely.
new feature at some point where we're going to try and get some of you guests that are watching onto the show. We'll put out something about that soon. We'll send out a link. And if you want to come on and have a little bit of a say, do so. It's not as easy as it looks, you know. You know what I mean? When you're on the stream, it's not as easy as it looks. You might think that me and Sid look and make it look professional. You know what I mean? But
we don't, as yesterday
But we
proved
don't.
when I got cut off.
and as proved when I put the score up when it was 3-0 when the game was 4-0. So it
Exactly.
don't prove anything about professionalism here, but we give it our best shot. But no, thank you for all those guys watching. Let's watch Ericsson today. Ericsson making his debut for Brentford.
Eagles.
Great show as always from Simple Ace. Thank you very much. Lloris nearly cost us. Need a goalie to challenge in the summer. Yeah, we've got 2 years to get a goalie now because he's going to stay for 2 years, hopefully. And even man, hi guys, big up. Thank you very much. Sid, thank you very much for that. We will catch up again soon. We've got other shows coming up, as already mentioned.
Absolutely.
So yeah, come on, you Spurs, and thank you for watching Paxton TV. See you guys.